Hello students, welcome back into the another interesting session of content management system using WordPress. In our previous discussion, we, we have started with the discussion of several types of plugin, and we have cleared the definition of WordPress, the purpose of WordPress, features of WordPress, and even we have installed one of the WordPress plugin into the WordPress, which is called as Contact Form 7. Before going ahead, I would like to firstly revise the entire topic so we can take a reference and go ahead for the further discussion. What we have done, first of all, by logging into the WordPress, we have visited the Corner Core plugins. In that plugins, by default, two plugins get installed, which is Akismet and Hello Dolly. These are the default plugins provided by the WordPress. Then we have opened the website, official website of WordPress, that is wordpress.org. Then once that particular site get open, into the plugins, we have browsed the category which is called as popular plugins, and into the popular plugins we have selected Contact Form 7 and downloaded that particular component from this official website. Now once that particular plugin get successfully downloaded into the desired location which you have given, we have started the installation process of Contact Form 7. For the process of installing plugin, into the plugin section, we have gone into the add new section. Then after we have clicked on upload plugin, it shows, or we can say it asks for selecting the file. So from the choose file, we have selected the desired location where that particular downloaded template is downloaded plugin is present. That means I have selected this zip file which I have downloaded. Then OK. Then once the file location is given, I have pressed install now. Within a few seconds, it returns the message that plugin installed successfully, and into the listing of all the plugin you will see the newly installed plugin that is called as Contact Form 7. That Contact Form 7 I have first activated. Once you activated the plugin, then and then you will get the option called for deactivating the plugin. Now once I have activated the plugin, I have visited the setting part of the same. Into the setting part of the same, there are few things are there, like the name of first form, its short code, author, and the date of publish. Then I have started installing that particular plugin by creating a new page. Into the page section, I have created a new page which is given a name called registration form. Into the registration form and its description, I have pasted the shortcode of that particular form by just copying over here and pasting over here, and then I have published this particular page. Once the page get published successfully, it shows this type of contact form onto the screen. So this is the practical part. This is the reference of my last lecture. Now we'll go ahead for the further discussion. Now in today's discussion, what we are going to see, we are going to see that, say for example, by default, this particular plugin gives 3 text box, where first 2 text box are required and the last text box is actually a multi-line text acceptance part, where we have to write our message. So whenever directly I press this send button, it gives you a one exception over here. The field is required. That means whenever we click on this button, it is going to check that there is nothing entered by the user in this particular field. So that's why it gives the message. Say for example, suppose I am giving some text over here and again I am pressing the same button, then it will check for the second text box, even it required something. Say for example, this text box is specially for accepting the email ID. So here I am just entering a part of email ID and suppose I am pressing the send button, again it returns the message, the email address entered is invalid because I have not entered @ as well as dot. Then after entering a valid name and email ID, suppose for the subject I am writing CS16 and into the message I am giving the name of my subject, that is content management using WordPress, and then suppose I am pressing the send button, then it returns the success message that thank you for your message, it has been sent. Now the question that we are going to solve in this session is that if this message comes, where it sends the data. એટલે કે અહીંયા સેન્ડનું બટન મેં પ્રેસ કર્યું તો આ ડેટા ગયો ક્યાં, પહેલો પ્રશ્ન ઈ. સેકન્ડ, માનો કે આ બે આપણે રિક્વાયર્ડ ફિલ્ડ રાખી છે કે જે વેલિડેશન્સ કરે છે, તો એ કેવી રીતે કરે છે. ત્રીજું, માનો કે આમાં 3 ટેક્સ્ટ બોક્સ છે, આની જગ્યાએ મારે હજી મોબાઈલ નંબરનો ઈમેલ એડ્રેસ પછી એક હજી ટેક્સ્ટ બોક્સ જોઈ છે, તો એ પોસિબલ થશે કે નહીં અને એના વેલિડેશન મૂકી શકાશે કે નહીં. આ ટાઈપના questions we are going to solve in this particular section. So try to be concentrated whatever I speak. So again I am going into the plugin section, and into the plugin I am visiting the settings. Into the settings, this contact form I am using, so I am clicking on edit. Now once you press edit, you will see this type of window onto the screen. This is the setting of entire form which we are displaying onto the screen. Say for example, there is a first label. This is the label actually. That label contains the data that your name and into the bracket required. The same thing is written over here. Then after this there is a one text box. Name of text box is your name, and that particular label gets completed. That means it will display these two things onto the screen. Then after, another label is there which accepts user's mail ID, which is again compulsory field. So same thing I have written, I have just changed the name from your name to your email and from text to email. It will display another text box with label onto the screen. That means these two. Then the third label is subject. It's a plain text where your subject name is given, which displays these two. Label is over. Now if you observe in this previous two, that means your name and your email, there is a asterisk written over here. This asterisk means what? This asterisk means it is compulsory. We need to write something in these two text box, and these two are optional. Suppose we don't want to write, then it's okay. That's why there is no asterisk. And the last label is your message, that is actually a text area. Here I have given a text area because it accepts multiple line of information from the user if requires. And then there is a one button called send. So submit, send is written over. This entire thing will display this registration form with their contents. Now, say for example, I want to edit something. For example, I don't want your name over here. I want to write student name. So simply what I am doing, here I am giving student's name, then student's email, and rest two I am keeping as it is. I am just changing the title of the label and I am saving it. Once it is saved, and suppose you refresh this particular page by pressing F5 button from the keyboard, instead of your name you will see the student's name and student's email ID over here. So this is the way to change just a label. Now what I am doing next, I am putting one more text box over here which accepts the student's number. For accepting the student's number, accepting the student's number, I am just copying the entire thing, and after the email ID I am pasting the same thing, but instead of this email I am writing student's mobile, and here I am writing text star your mobile. It seemed like this one. I have copied this thing and pasted after email ID. I am saving this particular thing. And suppose I am refreshing the page. Instead of name and email, that means with the name and email, it also accepts the number. That is a mobile number. It's a compulsory field. So this is the way for creating and expanding the registration form that we wish to create. Up to this, I am just taking the 3 text box, actually 4 text box, one for name, another for email ID, another for mobile number, one is for subject, and last one is text area, that is for accepting a message. Up to this it's okay. Now what I want to do further, this is actually into the tag called form. There are many tags into the setting. All these are into the form. Now I am just visiting the second tag, that is an email address. Now into the mail tag, these things are given, which is for auto redirected Mail, suppose we want to do it. We'll practically use in another section. Then there is a message. Message means whenever we press the send button, here we are getting the field is required, it's a message. So we'll search that particular message from over here. See, that message is given over here, the field is required. There is a field that sender must fill in, that is whenever we click on this submit button or you can say the send button, these are the three required field. So if it is blank, then this particular message will be displayed. So that message is mentioned over here. We can change the message from, say for example, the field is required, I want to change from this text to student must have to write their full name, right? Then say for example I am saving it. Once it is saved, that is student must have to write their name. Suppose I am refreshing the page and suppose I am pressing this particular button, then it displays students must have to write their full name. But what happens? It also displays the same message for email also, and it also displays the same message for mobile also. Generally what happens, over here we have to write, this is correct, student must have to write full name for this particular field, but instead of student must have to write their full name, for this particular field we need to write student must have to write their email address, and for this we have to go for mobile number. So what we can do over here is we have to keep a type of message which is common for these three fields. So we can write blank is not allowed here. Blank is not allowed here, and suppose I am saving this particular option, refreshing the page, and then I am pressing the button. It shows blank is not allowed here, blank is not allowed here, even blank is not allowed here. So it's a relevant message for these three text box, right? Now say for example, here I have written the required data for this particular form with some content like subject is CS17, programming in C. Then suppose we want to change the success message, that is sender's message was sent successfully, thank you for your message, it has been sent. Instead of this, suppose I want to write thank you for your time, records are successfully saved. Suppose I am giving this message and saving the content, then suppose again I am refreshing the page, because if you not refresh the page, effect will not comes over here. So again I am giving the data, email address, mobile number, subject code, end the message. Then I am suppose saving this particular content. Thank you for your time. Records are successfully saved. This message will keep. Now we will see one by one the importance of every message in this menu. First, જે મેસેજ આપણે આપેલો હતો એનો પ્રેક્ટિકલ તો આપણે કર્યો. સેકન્ડ જે છે એ એક્સેપ્શન માટે છે. દેટ મીન્સ સેન્ડર્સ મેસેજ ફેલ ટુ સેન્ડ મીન્સ કે તમે અહીંયાથી સેન્ડ બટન પ્રેસ કરો પણ જો કોઈ તમારો ડેટા જઈ ન શકે તો આ મેસેજ જે છે એ ડિસ્પ્લે થશે. મેસેજ છે there was an error typing to send your message, please try later. નેક્સ્ટ છે એ વેલિડેશન એરર મેસેજ છે. વેલિડેશન એરર મેસેજ એટલે કે અહીંયા આપણે બ્લેન્ક રાખતા હતા કે અહીંયા આપણે ડોટ કે @ નાખ્યા વિના ટ્રાય કરતા હતા. અહીંયા મોબાઈલ નંબર 10 ડિજિટ્સથી એક્સિડેડ હોય તો જે મેસેજીસ ડિસ્પ્લે થાય છે that messages are called as validation error messages. તો એ ટાઈમે આ મેસેજ જે છે એ ડિસ્પ્લે થશે. સપોઝ કે તમે જે ડેટા સેન્ડ કરેલો છે, જે ડેટા સબમિટ કરેલો છે એ એક સ્પામ તરીકે કન્સિડર થાય છે, દેટ ઇઝ કે મેલિશિયસ ફાઇલ તરીકે કન્સિડર થાય છે. તો એ ટાઈમે આ સિલેક્ટેડ મેસેજ જે છે એ સિલેક્ટેડ મેસેજ તમારા સ્ક્રીન ઉપર ડિસ્પ્લે થશે. દેન સપોઝ કે કોઈ મેસેજ તમે સેન્ડ કરતી વખતે ડિક્લેરેશન યુઝર પાસેથી લેવડાવવા માગો છો કે એ ટિક કરે પછી જ તે મેસેજીસ જે છે એ સેન્ડ કરી શકે, ત્યારે એ ડિક્લેરેશન માટે જે કન્ટેન્ટ છે એ કન્ટેન્ટ અહીંયાથી આપણે ડિસ્પ્લે કરી શકીએ. બ્લેન્ક ઇઝ નોટ એલાઉડ હિયર એ આપણે જોયું. પછી there is a field with input that is longer than the maximum allowed length. The field is too long. એ આપણે જોયું અને આપણે કરી પણ શકીએ અને કરશું પણ ખરા કે આ મોબાઈલ નંબરમાં આપણે 10 ડિજિટ્સથી વધારે મેસેજ નાખીએ તો મેસેજ શું આવી જવો જોઈએ? ધ ફિલ્ડ ઇઝ ટુ લોંગ. અત્યારે માનો કે આપણે કોઈ બીજો ડેટા નાખીએ, સે ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ XYZ abc@gmail.com અને અહીંયા મોબાઈલ 2 ડિજિટનો રાખીએ છીએ. કોઈ સબ્જેક્ટ આપી દઈએ કે સે ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ હેલો ધીસ ઇઝ ટેસ્ટ ફોર એક્સેપ્શન અને અહીંયા આપણે સેન્ડ કરીએ છીએ. તો આ મેસેજ પણ જતો રહેશે. શું કામ? કેમ કે અહીંયા આપણે આ સ્ટુડન્ટ મોબાઈલ નંબર માટે કોઈ જાતનું વેલિડેશન હજુ મૂકેલું નથી, જે આપણે મૂકવાનું રહેશે. પણ મૂકીએ અને પછી એ ડિસ્પ્લે થશે તો એમાં આપણને આ મેસેજ જે છે ડિસ્પ્લે થશે, ધ ફિલ્ડ ઇઝ ટુ લોંગ. ધીસ ઇઝ ફોર મેક્સિમમ. Even you can go for checking the minimum allowed length. This is for checking maximum allowed length and this is for checking minimum allowed length. This particular error message works with the date format if user has passed any valid or invalid date. We will check it by practically. This is for checking dates and its minimum limit. This is for checking date and its maximum limit. This works whenever you tries to attach some media and if it generates an error message, then it will display there was an unknown error uploading the file. That means these three are related with uploading the files and rest are related with the PHP URLs. So what we are going to do is, into the form, first the student's mobile number that we have taken. For that, first I am removing this particular label from the list, from the given list. Then I am selecting a telephone, this field is required, that means it is compulsory. Then I am giving the name of this field is your number, say for example I am inserting it. Let me do it again. Sorry, instead of this telephone we have to go for number. Then I am giving the name your number, minimum 10 as well as maximum 10. I am giving an attribute, I am putting an ID attribute and class attribute as a blank. Then before this I am giving a label, students mobile into the bracket required, and after this I am completing this label by slash label. Now I am saving this particular content. Once it is saved, let's refresh the same thing. Suppose I am entering some content like this one. Suppose here I have entered the 2 digits only, then some message, and I am pressing the button. What it displays, the number is larger than the maximum allowed, right? So suppose here I am giving a proper number which is of 10 digits, 2 plus 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. Then suppose I am pressing the send button. Let me remove it. Something goes wrong. Here I am adding this telephone number, your number, I am making it compulsory, then I am inserting this tag and giving a label, students mobile. I am completing this particular field like label, it is a slash label. Then I am saving this particular content. refreshing the page, entering the data, subject and message, then I am pressing the send button. Yes, it shows thank you for your time, records are successfully saved. So this is the way for entering the mobile number. Don't go for number, go for TEL, that is telephone. Now again I am expanding for something more. After the student's mobile number, suppose I want to give a gender selection, that is for male and female. So for that what I am doing, I am just first giving a one enter, then I am going for radio button. I am giving the name of radio button cell underscore gen, that is for gender. Then I am giving an attributes, for example male, and I am inserting this particular radio button over here, saving that radio button, refreshing the page, giving the label select gender slash label. Some error message is over there, I need to check it. There is a label is perfect over here. Let's see what goes wrong. Again I am trying to add the same thing, selecting the radio button, giving the name of radio button, that is select, for example gender, or here I am giving male, attribute as a M, inserting this tag, saving this tag, one more checkbox I am adding over here, female, giving F, and here I am writing options equals to one option per line. For example female, again I am writing over here. I am saving this content, it displays, that means we need to give an option over here also. So in double inverted comma male, and I am saving this content. It gives a two checkbox over here, one for male, another for female, but both are checked. So what we are doing, here we are removing the default from female. In saving the content, what happens over here, For example, I am giving the common ID for the same. See, it works. What I have changed? First of all, I have taken the two radio buttons in a parallel sequence, so it will display in parallel sequence. Then I have given the name of both the radio button as a same, that is SELGEN, select generation. Then ID of the first radio button is M for male, and ID of second text box is F for female. Whenever I keep saved these changes and refreshing the page, it displays select gender with the selection of any of the options. If you go for male, it will deselect the female. If you go for female, it will deselect the male. Now let's see by entering some more content over here. abc @gmail.com, mail ID, then mobile number, then subject, then this is test for gender, and suppose I am pressing send. It submits that particular message into the database. So this is the way for adding the gender into the contact form save. Now here you will see so many things. We can add a text box. This is the text box. Student's name is a text box. Mail ID. You can add some URL for accepting the website address. Suppose we require this telephone for mobile number. Numbers, say for example, suppose we want to enter the marks of any students, then that marks may be in format of number. Suppose you want to add some date, then by selecting this you can add some date. This is for text area that we have already taken. Then drop down menu, if we require, we'll use this drop down menu. What we are doing? Label, /label, select course, and in this first I am displaying the drop down menu. Name of this drop down menu is select course. In that I am taking BCA, BBA and BCom. I am inserting this tag, saving this tag, refreshing the page. It gives this drop down menu onto the screen. It's very easy into the WordPress, but in core PHP, suppose we want to make the same thing, then it becomes very difficult. So technology is for the same. Learning process continues in our computer science field, because to reduce the efficiency efforts of the programmer, and if we are if our mind are stable, then we can produce more powerful results. That's why this type of tools are used. Now let's go ahead. Once this form is designed, we have gone through the form, mail, messages, and there is an additional setting. This additional setting is for the customization. Suppose you want to customize this entire form as per your need, then we can go for this particular section. This we are going to discuss into the unit number last whenever we take it. So I have taken lots of your time. Before going ahead, that means contact form 7 plugin is completed over here. Now what you have to do practically at your home, that I am writing over here. Create a student registration form with following field using contact form 7 plugin. તમારા ઘરે તમારે એક પ્રેક્ટિકલ કરવાનો છે કે જેમાં તમારે એક સ્ટુડન્ટનું રજિસ્ટ્રેશન ફોર્મ બનાવવાનું છે કોન્ટેક્ટ ફોર્મ 7 થી, કે જેની અંદર તમારે ફિલ્ડ્સ આટલા રાખવાના છે. સૌથી પહેલું ફિલ્ડ છે સ્ટુડન્ટ નેમ, સ્ટુડન્ટ ઈમેલ આઈડી, સ્ટુડન્ટ મોબાઈલ નંબર, જેન્ડર, address, then mark 1, that is the marks of subject 1, then mark 2, that is the mark of subject 2, mark 3, that is the marks of subject number 3, then percentage, and last there is a submit button. Whenever you click on this submit button, all of these details should be submitted into the database. Even in our practical, whenever we have entered some data, that data is to be stored somewhere. So we will see where that particular data stores, and then we'll complete our session. So for that, here I am opening PHP My Admin by writing this URL, then selecting PHP My Admin. In PHP My Admin, there is a WordPress database we have created. In that WordPress database, there is an WP user table is there. in that users, sorry, I'm not getting yet. Anyways, let me check it. Whenever we click on this send button, this particular data will be stored in one of the database which is given in this list that I will demonstrate into the next lecture. I need to check it where it stores, and then I will inform you where it is going to be stored. Thank you very much for listening.